Yes people, welcome back to the Gaining Traction YouTube channel. As you would have seen early on in the week, we've done a similar video on Wiggy's MB Civic. If you've not seen that video, we'll link it in the description below. But for today, we're going to be getting into the 36 and exactly how it ended up from a 318 IS into this Frankenstein build. So for those who don't know the car, you're going to be wondering why I'm calling it a Frankenstein build. Well, like I mentioned, it started life as a 318 IS. The only thing that really survived from the 318 IS is the shell, the gearbox and maybe the drive shafts, although they have been replaced. So we've got an M50B25 engine, which the engine came out of an E36 5 series. Then we changed the diff to a short ratio small case diff from a Z3. And then we also changed the prop because that broke in a previous video. I can't remember exactly what prop it was that we got. It was either a 318 prop or a 325 prop, but whichever it was, it had to be modified to fit the gearbox. There's been quite a few things that have happened in the engine bay, such as the OBD port, so it's OBD1 port. When I got the car, the OBD, I don't know what happened, but it was involved in some sort of fire. So we had to source an OBD1 that fit the car and have it all wired in. We've had a new radiator with a built-in header tank. We've had an electric fan put on the back of there because we were suffering with some overheating with an electric fan controller. If you're wondering what that is at the back there, that's our famous Christmas/Bitcoin jumper that holds the ECU in place and also keeps it dry from the Manchester weather. I think that's pretty much it for the engine bay and the mechanical side of the car, so let's get walking around and see what else has been done. So to you guys, the car may look like an absolute parcel, which realistically compared to most modern cars, it probably is. I don't know whether I've got any pictures from when I first got the car. It's come a long way, let's say that. It had no grills in the front, the lights was crusty, the bumper was more than crusty. It had missing arches on the back, over arches where the arches have been cut but just left open. The side skirts was hanging off. There's plenty of things with this car that have improved, but it's still got a long way to go. So in my ownership, I've added the HSD Mono Pro coilovers all round. I've not had them professionally set up. I set them up myself and sent it basically. It went into MPE and he did just adjust them slightly because there was rubbing. But yeah, we've not had an alignment, we've not had any sort of setup when it comes to track driving. We've got the Strom wheels which came with the car. They was freshly refurbed when I got them, but they've seen a few curbs since then. This one's actually decent, to be fair. Yeah, they wrapped in the Davanti Pro Tourer Race, which is an entry-level semi-slick. It's better than a lot of the cheaper semi-slicks, but for the price, I'd say it's probably the best bang for buck, if I'm being honest. Not only that, we've got the 330D calipers from a E36 on the front. Obviously, we've got high carbon discs all round with some track pads, which is the DS2 500s. On the back, we're just running the normal caliper. Some people do run twin calipers on these, especially when you've got a hydro like I've got. But yeah, we've just plumbed that into the normal single caliper. Coming around to the back, we added this spoiler. I did butcher the boot lid a little bit when I added it. It looks like someone chewed through the boot lid. It wasn't me. We're missing a diffuser and the paintwork is really shoddy on the bumper. Like, it's shoddy all around the car, but I'd say the bumper's like the worst area. You can see like the purple's really coming through. We're running a custom exhaust. That was done prior to my ownership, so I don't know exactly what's been done. It sounds pretty nice, to be fair, for what it is. Another key component of the car that I forgot to mention, something that makes it really nice to drive, is the purple tag steering rack. It gives it a lot more feel, and it makes it feel a lot more analog than a lot of the more modern cars that I've driven. Not only that, we've got a anti-roll bar on the front from a 328i E36. Originally, when I got the car, because it was mainly a drift car, it didn't have an anti-roll bar, but seeing as though we're doing a lot more track stuff, we decided to put that back in. But for the outside, that's pretty much it. Let's jump inside and I'll go through well, whatever, we can't really call that interior, can we? But yeah, let's go through that. Okay, so jumping in here, compared to Wiggy's MB, it's similar but very different. We've got aftermarket steering wheel, cut dash just like Wiggy. Aftermarket door cards. When I say aftermarket, we've just got a few planks of wood in there. We've got no carpet, front or back. We've got harnesses for passenger and driver, cage. It's very basic in here, like pretty much everything's gone and there's just wires dangling instead of trims that should be covering the wires. I don't know, it says because race car, but I think it's just because people are lazy and can't do things properly, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I don't know what this switch panel is supposed to be. Whatever it's supposed to be, it's not. It's held in by duct tape and plastic, and there's wires all over the place that don't actually go to anywhere. So, as you've seen from the detailed walk around that we've just done, you know exactly why we call this car the 36. Although the car's come a long way in my ownership, I originally bought the car as a little bit of a stopgap before getting a higher performance car. So before this I had a 135 coupe, really nice car, but I felt like it was a bit limited in terms of the chassis. Eventually the plans was to go F80, F82 and build like a nice track car. So this was supposed to be like the stopgap, learn a bit of car control. Obviously it's a drift build, but since owning the car, everything that I've been through with the car and driving the car, I've changed my mind. Plans have changed for this car. So rather than selling it and rather than leaving it in this shoddy state, I think it's time we build a proper track car. It's a very capable chassis, as many people know. You go to a track day, you'll see many E36s, 46s. It's a very capable chassis, but this car has not been set up to be a track car. It's a drift car that I've made into a hybrid of a track and drift. You know, we've got the welded small case diff, which means sometimes gearing is a little bit in between for certain corners. So there's certain things like that which, having the hybrid of the drift build and the track build, it's not optimal for either. So it's time to rectify that. Not only that, we were suffering with a little bit of overheating when it comes to coolant temps. Again, we've changed the radiator, but there's other things that need to be done to make the car more optimal for track. For anyone that's been watching the channel from the beginning and, you know, you've been waiting for content on both cars, do you want to be watching subpar content? Because I know I wouldn't. So I think it's time that we built the cars to the capability that they can reach and have a proper battle. So the car will be coming off the road, we'll be making it more track orientated, and we'll document the full process from where it is now to where it's going to be, and then we're going to smoke K24 swapped MB on track. Wiggy doesn't like to admit it, but rear wheel drive is superior. It's the superior drivetrain, whether he likes it or not. He's going to tell you front wheel drive, it's not superior, and we're going to have to prove that. So yeah, if you're looking forward to a winter strip down of both cars, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and we'll catch you in the next video.